You're welcome back. It's time for business, and Sandra Fenu joins me in the studio.
Hi,
I hear you're going to be talking about this new phenomenon called
People
Loom.
are just looming.
Looming?
Yeah.
Are you a loomer?
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
too scared to loom.
All right, take it away.
Despite the warnings, people are so looming.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that.
Okay, take it away.
Hello, good evening. My name is Sandra S. and I'm up. And before we do that looming story, President of the African Development Bank is challenging IMF's classifications that Ghana and some African countries are at high risk of debt distress. Dr. Akiwumi Adesina disclosed this during an interaction with journalists at the just-ended African Development Bank meeting in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. George Yafe was there and has more emerging from the conference.
The IMF has currently classified Ghana and some 15 other countries of high risk of debt distress. This is because they've taken on too much debt that could be described as equal to their assets, or in some cases more than that. This development is said to be impacting negatively on the cost of borrowing as well as servicing their debts. But answering questions from journalists at the just ended African Development Bank meeting in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, that President Dr. Adesina said he doesn't think that countries like Ghana are high risk of debt distress, while some are in debt distress. He explains.
If I have a credit card and I use my credit card to buy hamburgers all the time, that's bad use of a credit card. But if I have my credit card and I use it to invest in real estate, that's a good use of my credit card. So the quality of debt is also very important. Equally important is that many of our countries are taking debt for the whole issue of infrastructure, because we need massive infrastructure. But I think the point I want to make is that we need to do a lot more public-private partnerships on infrastructure so the private sector can carry part of the weight. Government alone don't have to do infrastructure. Then when you look at financing of debt, borrowing money from outside a lot, there's always a mismatch. Exchange risk, currency mismatch. That's why the African Development Bank is doing a lot today in terms of domestic, local currency financing. So we can finance countries in their local currency that removes the exchange rate risk.
For some, the stance of the African Development Bank can be described as interesting, whether they will be moving to ensure or force the World Bank and the IMF to review this classification. For some, the African Development Bank meeting can be described as interesting, from the opening of the event to the side discussions, the press conferences, the interviews of the very important personalities, and even the country, Equatorial Guinea, and being able to assemble all these dignitaries in one location and what they've been able to do within this short period.
Now, it's gained popularity on social media a few weeks ago. Call it the new get rich quick. Loom is taking the social media space by storm, despite warnings by the Securities and Exchange Commission, which actually described it as a scam. It appears many are caught in the Loom web. But what exactly is Loom all about? Karen Dodu has more in this report.
The pyramid scheme is a form of investment in which each paying participant recruits two further participants, with returns being given to early participants using money contributed by the later ones. Complicated, but that's exactly how Loom works. You make your money when you bring members. A system many have described as similar to the network marketing system. It is believed to have been in existence since the 1900s and only surfaced making rounds on social media. Call it the latest get-rich-quick scheme, and you may not be far from right. The Securities and Exchange Commission and the Economic and Organized Crime Office have warned against it. But for some loomers, as they are called, this new venture is worth regulating. Eustace Tehoda is a loomer and explains the process more.
You know, the Loom scheme, the chart, as I said, has about 16 slots.
Okay.
Now the slots are filled with maybe your own friends.
Friends and
there's left with like 8.
Okay.
Do you understand? 8
So
slots.
the starting point is who?
So where you see giver, they are the ones actually supposed to be filled. Those ones get empty.
Okay.
When you are starting, those ones are always empty.
So when you are starting, where are you here?
You're in the middle. You're the receiver.
Receiver.
Yes.
Okay. So Eustace is here.
Yes. So where you see leader and coach, those are your people that have to help you get 8 people to come and pay you in order to join the scheme or the chat.
Yeah. Although some have referred to it as normal form of susu, it is not regulated and illegal in Ghana. For those who join at the latter part, the chances of making money can be slim, as the investment is believed to reduce as the circle broadens. Eustace Tehoda explains further.
They'll trust amongst friends.
If there's a central point that is going to look at this
the
thing
money's
and then
coming
regulate
in.
Exactly, so that nobody gets to come in and say, I paid my money to you, give me my money back. A lot of issues will come out of it. So if it can be regulated, why not? I think.
I see.
To other stories now, the Italian ambassador to Ghana, Mr. Giovanni Favilli, has described bilateral trade between Italy and Ghana that it has actually yielded nearly 400 million euros last year. Details plus more local stories coming up next in our summaries.
The Italian ambassador to Ghana, Giovanni Favilli, has said bilateral trade between Italy and Ghana yielded nearly 400 million euros last year. He said this was because of the fruitful relationship between the two countries in their long-standing economic cooperation and shared values. A World Bank report released over the weekend has tipped Ghana to be the fastest-growing mobile money market in Africa. According to the report, the mobile phone penetration created opportunities for expansion of financial services and increased the role of non-financial institutions as much as e-money issuers, positioning Ghana as the fastest-growing mobile money market in Africa. A group calling itself the Loom National Members has refuted a statement by the Economic Organized Crime Office (EOCO), which described the investment deal as a scam and cautioned Ghanaians to stay away from it. In a statement issued by the group, it said, Loomin is not a company owned by someone to be licensed. Loomin is not a money deposit company to be illegal or a scam, the group claimed.
I'll be back after 8 p.m. with more business news, but Araba Kumsen is standing by for the rest of the news.
Yes, and I've heard that a lot of people insist they will continue to engage in the Loom, I don't know, phenomenon, if you like, in spite of the warnings by SEC and BOG. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's up to them. Don't come crying.
They come crying.
Anyway, keep watching Joy News Prime. I'm Araba.